Hey, it's Jeremy Williams at the Bannock Real Estate Group, and of course it's the beginning of the month, so as always we're going to go over the numbers and find out where we're at and where we're going. But before I get too far into it, I do want you to be aware when changes happen in the market. A lot of times people will put propaganda out there. We call it clickbait, cause you to click on something, really doesn't have any research behind it, but it could look disturbing. And I just caution you, do not make life decisions based on the articles that you read on the internet or even in the paper for that matter. It's really important that if you're going to be buying or selling a house, that you get real information. You come out to us, we'll sit down, we'll go over the market stats. It doesn't cost you any money. It's something that we do for everybody just to make sure that you're making the best decision moving forward. The last thing we want you to do is to look back and wish you had done something different, but make those decisions based on real information that you can count on, not from something that you saw on the internet, something that scared you. Do not act out of fear. One of the things you'll find in our market is this market is very different than a market that we've seen in the past. So let's get into it. Let's find out what's different this time than we've seen, and most importantly, how we can use this information moving forward. So of course, one of my favorite numbers that I like to track is basically supply and demand, or we call it absorption rate. Absorption rate is simply how many homes are on the market compared to how many that sell each month. Well, the NAR, National Association of Realtors, says a normal market is about 6 months absorption rate. So if you're over 6 months, it's a buyer's market. If you're under 6 months, it's a seller's market. And of course, the more extreme it is of a buyer's market or a seller's market away from that 6-month line. So currently we are at 1.29 months of inventory, which is still an extreme seller's market. It's up a little bit from last month. That was 1.08. Now it's still a strong seller's market, but simply what that means is there's just a little bit more options for the buyers than there was even last month or the month before. So inventory is coming to the market. We are getting a little bit more flexibility than we've seen in the past. So we'll look for absorption rate. One of the key indicators of a changing market is if we stay down in that seller's market, or I'd suspect that we're going to head a little bit more to what we call a normal market. Normal markets aren't scary. It's actually a great time if you're looking to make a move to get from one house to another without becoming homeless in the process. Another indicator we look at is how many homes are on the market. Right now there's 135 houses in all price ranges for the Missoula area. That's down a little bit from this time last year where we were at 160 homes. But it is an increase over the last couple months. There was a time where we were down to about 45 homes at any given time on the marketplace. So that's actually a positive sign for the market. We're gaining some inventory, we're getting some more choices. And because of that, we've also seen average home price staying a little bit more steady. Last month it was $535,000, so we're not seeing that huge gain that we were seeing over the last 2 years. So that's going to make it a little bit more palatable for you as a buyer to get from one house to another. But if you're a seller, you're also still going to get a great price for your house. Now, one of the surprising factors that we saw in our marketplace this month is when I was looking at what we call list to sales price. And that's basically when you put a house on the market, do you get over or a little bit less for your house? When you list it, what does it actually sell for? And we track that in percentages. So for the last couple of years, we've seen about 102 to 107% list the sales price, meaning that most often that we're getting over asking price for our properties. Well, the reason it was surprising is because I would have expected that list to sales price to slowly decline with interest rates going up and inflation. In fact, last month we saw the highest list to sales price than we've seen in the last 2 years at 108% on average. Now, time's going to tell whether that was just a blip in the market or if there was 1 or 2 houses that sold for exorbitantly higher than normal. But that is something we're paying attention to, because if those numbers continue up, it means appreciation is going to still be going at a really fast rate. If that number comes down, then we're going to see a little bit of a pullback in the market. Doesn't mean the market's bad, but it is something that we're tracking as an indication of where we might be going over the next 6 months to a year. So we put this information together, and really what does it all mean? Well, if you're thinking about buying a house, you want to really pay attention to what's going on in the market, because it is changing. And getting strong information now compared to waiting even a month, 2 months, 3 months can really affect how or what you're able to buy in the future. So what we recommend is please reach out. Let's talk about it. Let's use real data. Let's talk about your circumstances and find out if now makes sense, because the other alternative, if you don't own a home currently, is you're going to be in a rental. And those rental prices are changing and you have no control over it. So let's take control of your life. Let's sit down and see if buying a home is the right thing to do right now. Of course, if you're a homeowner, you want to ask yourself, are you in that house you want to be in for the next 5, 10, 15 years? Because a lot of people are going to be living in their homes longer when we see rates increasing, prices increasing the way they have. So are you looking to downsize, upsize, maybe moving out of the area, kids graduating from school? Is something happening in your life that would change your ability to live in the house you are now? If there is, let's talk. It might not make sense to sell it for you right now, but you at least want to get the right information. So of course at Bannock Real Estate, we're passionate about the real estate market. We analyze these numbers daily. We're always paying attention to what's going on, and we're trying to provide real information for you. If this is something that you value or you see value in these videos, please subscribe. You can hit the notification button and you can see your updates of what's going on in the marketplace. And of course, always feel free to reach out to us. We're available. You can even call my cell phone number. It's 406-531-1519, and we want to hear from you. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and look forward to talking to you soon.